I attended a networking event on the best ways to network. And it was during that event, I heard several comments. One comment was, my biggest problem when it comes to networking is following up after an event. Another comment I heard was, my biggest problem is remaining in touch. I follow up and I connect with the person, but I don't remain in touch, even though I know I should. Hi, I'm Laura Burford. This consulting insight is about remaining or staying in touch with people you've met. The people could be potential clients, influencers, partners, or simply the person could be anybody with whom you want to build a meaningful or trusted relationship. In this video, I will provide my top guideline, the guideline I follow to help me remain in touch. And I will include some easy actions that you can take, actions that do not take hours upon hours of time to implement. If you're interested in more consulting insights such as this, subscribe to this channel. And if you click on the bell, you will be notified when the next video is available. If you like this video, a thumbs up would be appreciated. If you are a consultant who's looking to assess your knowledge and skills, download the consultant assessment document. A link is provided down below in the description area. Here's what was interesting about the event. It was about networking, but this event was only open to consultants and freelancers. And over half the people commented on the same challenges. But the challenges really weren't about networking. The challenges were about the best ways to remain or stay in touch. Not following up after an event and not remaining in touch with people you want to build a relationship with are two common mistakes. Remaining in touch takes work. It takes time. Remaining in touch requires developing a strategy. Here's where my top guideline comes into play. The top guideline, the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule is this: 80% of what you do when you reach out to a person provides the other person some sort of value. The other 20% of what you do when you reach out or you try to stay in touch with somebody can include shameless plugs about how you can help somebody, kind of a little salesy. Or the message can reveal something unique about you. You won an award. Let's dive down into the 80%. As a consultant, people turn to you because they trust you. People trust your advice and they look to you when they need to bounce ideas off of somebody. Does that sound familiar? They look at you as a reliable source for information and wisdom. And what that means is when you reach out and you try to connect with them, you want to show them value. But how do you show value? You give them value. And there are two ways to give value. One way is by creating value. You create it. And the other is by curating it. If you're creating value, you are sharing your own original ideas and content. If you're curating value, you share someone else's thoughts and content. There are different opinions as to how much content should be your own versus the sharing of ideas of other people. I'll be honest, you will get mixed feedback from people. But here is my opinion. It's not always easy to create your own content, and some people struggle with creating their own content. But it is always easy to provide relevant information to people who you're trying to help, and it is always possible to express your own opinion. It is also possible to combine creating value and curating value into one remain in touch action. And it's easy to do. One of the easiest ways to curate value is to share an article, a video, or a podcast with others. You didn't write the article, you didn't create the video or the podcast. You're sharing them. And as you share that article, video, or that podcast, you add your own thoughts and opinion. How much you add, that's going to depend on you. It could be 2 sentences, 3 sentences as to why you're sharing the content or why you agree or disagree with the content. But just don't add your thoughts. Personalize the message you're sending to the person, including why you're sharing the content. If you want to start a conversation with the other person about the content you're sharing, ask the other person their opinion. The asking can be as simple as this. During the networking event, we discussed setting up your own video studio. You mentioned you're looking for videos to help you. I came across these links by experts whose opinions I respect. I found expert A's advice the most helpful for me because, as you know, I'm trying to create my own videos. And the reason I liked their advice was because I have very little space and limited dollars to get started. What do you think? A personalized message. If you do not know how to create a personalized message, check out the video on this channel that discusses how to create a personalized message. I'll include a link down below in the description area. Here's the thing. As a consultant, you need to be able to articulate your own ideas and share by giving value to the other person, the person with whom you're trying to build a relationship. Are there other ways to provide value, whether you're sharing your own thoughts and content or you're curating the work of others? Of course there are. Here are a couple. Quick tips. Did you ever receive an article that provided quick tips that you could forward on to somebody with your own comments or a how-to document? Or have you ever read a book that you think is worth sharing with other people? Picked up a document at a conference? Listened to an interview by an influential person? Came across a free educational webinar that you believe somebody you met might be interested in? And now for the 20% of the 80-20 rule. It's great to provide value, but people want to get to know you. They want to know, do your personalities click? Can they relate to you? Do they want to get to know you more personally? Coming across as a real person, real, genuine, authentic, helps people relate to you. Letting them know that you've won an award is great, or that you're going to be honored at an event. People also want to know how you might be able to help them. They want to know what you do. But here's the thing. Too much of you or too much of how you might be able to help them is just that, too much. You don't want to spend 80% of your time explaining how you can help them and 20% providing value. You want to flip it. You don't want you or your offers to dominate the conversation because people will tune you out. Relationships are as much about them as about you, and you want to put them first, constantly giving them value. It takes time to build relationships, and if you don't remain or stay in touch, whichever you want to use, a relationship can easily disappear. Remember the saying, out of touch, out of mind? It is so true. If you don't remain in touch, you are out of mind. Remain in touch, or if you'd rather say stay in touch with the right balance of messages. And the 80-20 rule is an excellent starting place. Let me know in the comment section below if you follow the 80-20 rule. If you don't, consider implementing the 80-20 rule as one of your guidelines for remaining in touch with people with whom you want to build a trusted relationship. It might take you some time, but it is doable. In this video, I mentioned the consultant assessment document and the video on how to write a personalized message. You can find links to both of them in the description area below. If you're interested in consulting insights, subscribe to this channel and click the bell to be notified when the next video is available. If you like this video, a thumbs up would be appreciated. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or ideas for future videos, drop them down below in the comment section as well. Signing off for now, take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you on a future video.